Okay, so I'm really sorry about all of this messing up. So let me just start off saying, I'm sorry about Danica not being able to voice her character anymore. It's sad because we knew she was going to leave, for a little bit at least. So I wrote this episode, as to be her leave, but then she kept getting sick, and then she left while she was sick, and then when she came back for a short bit, she got sick again. So she wasn't able to ever record her part, which is the only reason why we've been on hiatus for so long. But I did get a new voice actress who may not sound completely similar in any way, but I still really like her voice. I think it fits. You know. But anyways, how have you been? It's Pike Road, and we haven't done this in a while, and no one listens to this podcast anyways, but hey, we're back at it again. I am, we've also got now an original score, composed, whatever, done by Spacey Queenie. Now her channel and probably Twitter as well will be tossed right into her description. The description here. I'm still unsure if I'm going to move this to the main channel or if I'll keep this separate on its own channel. If I do keep this on its own channel, do consider subscribing because we will be having more episodes out. I'm just unsure of a fit schedule. This is currently being recorded a few nights prior to the date of release, which is January 20th, 2017. Anyways, I'm making this too long. I hope you do enjoy this episode. I put a lot of thought into it. I'm trying to advance the plot a bit, especially with the next upcoming episodes as well. So do stay tuned. Keep that radio tuned to Pike Road radio station, and I'll see you later. Thanks.
The story of a man in Pike Road is one story you cannot look down to. It's only something that is meant to express the disappointment in their parents. Today, we will be telling the story of a man in Pike Road. So, let me start off my story today with a question. Do you ever feel down, or sad, depressed even, not wanting to live much longer? That's the focus of our story today. Will I tell it? Perhaps. Maybe I'll even dedicate this whole broadcast just to this story. But before we get started, I have a small bit of news. Sam's family is going to town. They're staying in a cozy motel that appeared out of nowhere. I'm going to be visiting them personally this evening to give them a care package, and maybe even a congratulations to Sam's wedding. Anyway, story time! Now, of all people in Pike Road, many just walk and hobble their way to and fro and to. Maybe they even cattle up themselves to and fro and to. But this man, he never drove, he never flew, he never did anything good for himself. He just lived the boring life that was taught throughout his family's history. I mean, come on, how are you supposed to live a normal life when you're taught to live a normal life? It just doesn't make any sense to me, listeners. But I will tell you his story, starting now. He woke up on this morning, around 7 a.m. He sat up, slipped on some bunny slippers, and went to the bathroom. He walked slowly, and the worst part about the walk was the fact that the baby wouldn't stop crying. He forced himself to ignore it and continue for his morning routine. He would never let anything interrupt him. Never, ever, ever. Now, though he seemed normal on the exterior, his interior mind was wheeling himself in countless directions on how to go for his day. But one mindset kept strong, and he just did everything as normal as he always did. He got himself a cup of coffee. What? Coffee? Come on! Tea is better! Anyway, he sipped at his coffee as he read the local newspaper. He read through a story that talked about another man who went out and escaped the dome over the town, heading out to the civilization. Which, as we all know, there isn't anything beyond woods. The woods is pretty much everything.
The woods are everything. You mustn't harm us. Us?
Indeed, Adane, but, the man put down his newspaper, and then he walked to work. Apparently, he took his car into the shop because he had gotten into a wreck 2 weeks ago with Mr. Schnitz. Oh boy, I remember Mr. Schnitz. He was my 3rd grade teacher. I hated him. But anyway, the man had to walk to work at 7 a.m. He had all his belongings in his suitcase and fixed his tie as he tried to get to work quickly. Today was the big day where he might be promoted to senior vice principal of administrations. He had combed his hair and everything to make him look like his Sunday best. As he walked along the sidewalk, some kids were running with their rubber guns and firing at each other. Of course, the man started to jog. He did not want to get involved. What? Why not? That sounds like a blast. Man, this guy's boring. He approached the office building he worked at in the center of town. You know, Town Hall's cousin. He stepped inside, and as soon as he did, the lights turned off. There was no one inside the building. Had it been closed all day without his knowledge? No. He had to have been sent in today. He even got one of those fancy emails from his boss about coming in today. The man just decided to ignore this and go to his desk. When arriving, he noticed there was no computer, no papers, no printer, no desk stuff. He began to worry, so he had to run to his boss's office. Once inside, no one there. Empty. Barone. What was he to do now? He couldn't skip work, but he didn't have anything to work on. This was when he realized he woke up at 7 p.m. instead of 7 a.m. He gave himself a pat on the back and then proceeded to exit the building, happily walked into the tavern. It was almost a relief to him that he didn't have to work today, because, as we all know, once the building is closed for the night, everything disappears. He went to the local tavern and ordered himself a multiple shots of vodka. He was in his bright mood, as any citizen in Pike Road is when they go to a bar. But he just couldn't feel sad. He should feel sad. He wouldn't be getting paid for this at all. The whole time he was there, he just drank. He heard the radio turn on, and Cecile gave the following traffic report. We have found ways to keep us busy, but the streets are never the place. Please, do not just ever stand in the street and do your work. I'm not joking. At least 12% of our population is just laying there on the road doing homework or work that they brought from the office. Sheriff Wilson will hopefully take care of this soon. After this, the man had decided to walk home. Then, once home, he walked very slowly and tried acting like he just worked a 9 to 5. Beyond him, the television that was turned on. It was playing some sort of cartoon in another language. Maybe an anime? I don't know. It says they are cute girls on the screen though. He walked past that. Then he just walked past his wife, who was yelling about their newly mutated daughter for failing her last test. After that, he walked past his son's room. He was playing some sort of video game on his computer. I guess I didn't know what that thing was. His son was angrily shouting at someone. And please, let me paraphrase this. You freaking butts better get better at this game or I'm quitting the arena! Well then, he certainly has personality. Finally, the man reached his bedroom and sat on the bed. There, he sat for about 4 hours just painting on an open canvas. Then, for those 5 hours were up, he had a painting of a sky view of Pike Road. Listeners, thank you. This story of the man was related to someone close to me, close to all of us. Oh, we have a weather report for you all. Nothing. We have a dome over our heads. The next scheduled rainfall is in 3 months after the summer is over. Well, darn. I was really hoping to get out some splash in those puddles in August. Well, that would be even great. Well, my child is inside going to have to wait. But in other news, the local pharmacy has been shut down due to the drug loss. Seriously, they lost all the medicine. They couldn't have just flown off, you idiots. Go and check the trailer again. But this is a serious issue to some citizens, especially the ones arriving at the newly built motel. We'll get more into that in a bit. Local and huge. Dome is still shut down. Don't know what will happen there, but you know, this is just how life works. Everything is how it seems and as well as how it shouldn't be seen. I will keep on rambling about this until I get the signal from Craig. The dome shutdown could have happened for many other reasons, you know. It could be that there was an intruder, a terrorist, a vampire, maybe an angel. Oh yes, Craig gave the signal. So, the motel I mentioned earlier is now open. In it, it is full. But it accepts more and more residents as it grows. I'm not sure what's so attractive about this motel, so I'm going to have to live a live report from the site itself. Hopefully Adane can fill in any time while I'm gone.
Hello, Pike Road. And now a word from our sponsors. We are the trees. We wave, but no one ever waves back. Sometimes we think someone's waving back, but it always turns out they're waving to someone behind us, and we get really embarrassed. We have a warning. A warning to everyone who doesn't listen, and everyone who does too. Cars, factories, nuclear-powered toasters. These are all things that hurt us, and they hurt you too. They block the sun from reaching our leaves, and they make the world melt and burn until there is nothing left. Don't hurt the trees.
Pike Road! I'm here at a new motel that is just called Motel Inn. Creative, I know. I thought that I'd go inside and make my acquaintances with the manager and everything. See you all in just a sec. I gotta find Sam's parents.
For now, goodbye, Pike Road. Hello all once again. This is Pike Road is a production brought to you by us here doing whatever. Anyways, Cecile Spunt this time was voiced by the lovely Anastasia. I do not have any, I do have a Twitter link and an Instagram link for her. She also does cosplay, I believe. If not, I know she does. Okay, you know what? I'm really bad at remembering things. I believe she does art and cosplay, as well as doing this voice acting. But yes, she was now voiced by that. Adane, English, voiced by me. And yes, for that last bit there, I was actually cracking the bone in my neck. My neck really hurts. But yes, that was actual, like, bone cracking noises that I didn't find offline that I actually used. Which I thought was very creative of me to do, and also very painful of me to do. But, I do hope you really enjoyed it. I put a lot of effort into this one, writing-wise. This one's kind of a test video on editing, since I didn't have X amount of tracks and all this stuff, because the first 4, fun fact, were made in Windows Movie Maker, while this one is being edited in Sony Vegas. So, I do hope that this sounds a lot better and all that compared to anything previous. So do consider subscribing, because I plan on keeping this on the This Is Pike Road official YouTube channel. Do follow the official Twitter, where we'll tweet out random shit, and also, of course, the new episodes. So, I do hope you enjoyed. Like I said, subscribe, like this video, go share it around. I'd really appreciate it. And you know what? Thanks. Peace.